Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name's Joni Ogg, and on behalf of TravelProfessionalNews.com, Home-Based TravelAgent.com, and FindAHostTravelAgency.com, I would like to welcome all of you to today's webinar, and I do appreciate so much you taking time out of your day to be here with us. Today's topic is specialty river cruises with our friends at AmaWaterways. And we have our lovely Hannah Westerdahl as our speaker today, who is the Senior Director of Sales at AmaWaterways. Now, Hannah started her career in emergency management and disaster response, which is interesting. And as an avid traveler, she knew something was missing from her professional career and finally made the transition to the travel industry. And I'm sure she doesn't look back now. Hannah joined AmaWaterways in 2017 as a river cruise and group sales specialist. And from there, she joined the sales department, working closely with the business development managers and national accounts team. In her current position, she works every day in support of the trade community to find new ways to support travel advisors in growing their river cruise business with AmaWaterways. So just a reminder, folks, that you are muted, but we do welcome your questions at any time. You will simply put those in the questions area that you see on the right-hand side of your screen, and we will get to those questions as soon as we can once she is finished with her presentation. Today, our friends at Ama are generously offering a prize to one attendee of a AmaWaterways River Cruise, which is just amazing. And we are so grateful for their generosity. We're also going to be awarding a $50 Amazon gift card courtesy of the Ogg family here at Travel Professional News. And this is all going to take place, we will announce this at the end of the webinar. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand this microphone over to Hannah so that we can get started. Welcome, Hannah. So glad you're here.
Oh, thank you so much, Joni. It's always a pleasure to join you on these webinars and spend time with our travel partners. Ama, you know, the bulk of our business comes from our travel partners in the trade community. So you are why we are so successful. Your success is our success. Your struggles are our struggles. And we want to be with you to overcome any of those obstacles. So from myself as Senior Director of Sales, but also our BDMs. Everyone has a local BDM. I hope you know who yours is. If you don't, then reach out. And then, of course, all the way at the top, that's where it starts with Christine Karst, our Chief Brand Ambassador, co-founder, co-owner of AmaWaterways, Rudy Schreiner, godfather of river cruising, Christine's husband, of course, Gary Murphy as well, another board member and co-owner of AmaWaterways, and then Alex Pinello, our Chief Sales Officer. I'm sure many of you know the four people I just mentioned, all amazing people that lead us forward every day and value every moment with you all. And I'm sure many of you have even met some of them this year, whether it be at the Astor River Cruise Expo or another conference. You know, we're always looking for ways to get out there. So thank you again, Joni, for having us. Very excited about this topic today. Crazy listening to that bio, Joni, will you read that? Because wow, yes, 8 years. Fun fact for those on the line that do know Alex Pinello, Alex and I actually started at the same time, the same month at AmaWaterways in 2017. Of course, our paths very different, but ultimately leading to each other, and we get to work so closely in support of all of you every day. So I'm always sending love to Alex, and thank you to everybody that has registered. Thank you for taking the time. It's truly been so busy for us. You know, you had Wave and then non-Wave, where Wave was always so busy, but it feels like Wave is year-round because the demand for river cruising is honestly so high. You know, with everything that's happening out there in the economy, you know, it's been some changes happening, and people do keep asking us, are you seeing business slow at all because of some of the headlines that are out there and some of the events happening in the world. And truly, no, we still see such incredible demand and interest. So we really have not seen a slow in business at all. I think Easter week we did, every holiday we do see a bit of a slowdown, but it picked right back up. So now is a perfect time to start talking about river cruising, to start promoting river cruising. And I do think that this webinar is a great place to be and to really learn about our specialty cruises. We have so many different specialty cruises, all sort of focused on, a theme, some of them that you know already, some of them you might not know. But the reason to highlight this, even though it is a smaller percentage of our overall business, is because this is where we see so many new to river guests coming and where their interests lie. If we take something like our Christmas market cruises or our wine cruises, we see decidedly more new to river cruise guests in those channels than we do on, a standard Danube or a standard Rhine cruise. And it gets the conversation going because I hear it all the time. Every time, I'm able to host a cruise and then travel with so many of our travel partners or get outside the walls of the headquarters in California where I am now, I hear it all the time where people say, I just didn't think I'm there yet. I'm not there yet with river cruising. That's me 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. So if I'm not there, my clients aren't there. That is not the case. I can absolutely promise you that when you talk about river cruising with AmaWaterways, you are there. We have so many options included. The value is incredible. The food's amazing. The intimacy on board, right? It's not a mass market channel. It's not a mass market product. It is a luxury product, but it is a luxury product that is warm and welcoming and for everybody. And so your clients might have these misconceptions about what it is to river cruise, certainly what it is to river cruise with AmaWaterways. And so leaning into some of these specialty cruises, it does get them to realize, oh, maybe I'm not correct and my assumption is actually wrong and I should actually reconsider this. And they might not join us on that specialty cruise. They could, because it might not work out date-wise for this, but then that conversation has started and you've piqued their interest. And then they do consider, oh, maybe I should, this is for me. And let's take a chance. I trust my advisor, right? Working with them for so long, and I trust their feedback. They're the professional. So, okay, let's take the chance and let's go on a river cruise. So these are all great cruises to start talking to your guests about. And we want to start, of course, with our Christmas time cruises. People used to not river cruise. If you didn't know this, when river cruising first started, the season was done, usually in November, before the weather turned. And so yes, the Christmas markets are going to be colder, the holiday cruises are going to be colder, our winter season, but we decided to extend. We were one of the very first lines to extend through the holiday market cruises all the way into the new year. And now more and more and more of our products have expanded at wintertime because it is so popular and because the experience is truly incredible. The markets, authentic experience is what people are looking for now when they're traveling, an immersive experience as well. And that's what you get with these Christmas markets and holiday markets, because they weren't created for you and me and tourists. That's not the vision of why they were created. They were created by the locals for the locals hundreds of years ago, oftentimes. So it's so wonderful getting off the ship and you'll just have finished a city tour and then we drop you off at the markets that are open and you get to try the glühwein or the sausage that town is known for and do some shopping. But I always love the people watching aspect of it more so than the actual shopping for the goods because you get to see coworkers grabbing a drink after work and you get to see families and bring their kids out and enjoying the market and spending that valuable time. So these people look forward to this. The locals look forward to this every single year and take full advantage of it even more than, tourists and things coming to enjoy these historic markets. But Christmas markets, this time in December, the first 2 weeks of December, absolutely that's prime. Rates are at their highest and the promotions are going to be at their lowest. But the markets are starting to open earlier than ever before and stay open longer. So our holiday, our festive season really starts in mid-November, and that's on the Rhine River, on the Danube River, two rivers in France this year. We have not only Provence in southern France, but also Bordeaux. So our Bordeaux River cruises extended all the way through New Year's now, and they do have Christmas market stalls in Bordeaux, and then Portugal as well, and then Best of Holland and Belgium, so round trip Amsterdam, spending time in the canals in Holland and Belgium. Most popular, of course, at this time is going to be the Rhine between Amsterdam and Basel, and then the Danube between Germany and Hungary. But traveling to these alternate destinations is truly magical, especially when the crowds are going to be at their lowest all year. So it's really giving you a much more intimate feeling. And I encourage you to start talking about the festive delights starting in November. You might formally know them as our Taste of Christmas Market cruises, because as you see, even from the railing on this picture, this is a guest on the sun deck, the whole ship transforms. So it is truly stepping onto our ship starting in mid-November, a winter wonderland where every single ship, even if the markets yet aren't opened, completely transformed. All of the fun and festive things that we do on board at this time of year, like caroling with the crew and Santa making a surprise visit and putting your shoes out for St. Nicholas, and you're going to receive chocolates if you've been good, or coal if you've been not so good, as a surprise overnight. So we do so many incredible things that are just so much fun for people of all ages to take part in on the ship. It really enhances the overall experience. So that is starting with these festive delights in November, and then again, the markets start opening earlier than ever before. And if the markets are open, we are going. So you might have clients that absolutely want to market every single day. Okay, then you need to look at the cruises starting around, I would say, November 28-ish. For embarkation dates. But if you have people that are okay not having a market every single day, but maybe having 2 markets, 3 markets during their 7-night cruise, these are great options for them. Our next biggest theme really is our wine cruises. Our celebration of wine cruises started in 2012 with one winery out of Santa Barbara, California, who just locally had made contact with Christine and Rudy and reached out saying, well, we'd love to cruise with our wine club members and do some fun things. And so it was really in collaboration with them and an advisor that we came up with our celebration of wine cruises. We now have over 80 departures this year. And in 2027, which will be available soon, we're going to have over 100 departures on our wine cruise program. And this is something incredible for the guest because it's adding value. Again, all things are included with AmaWaterways, excluding alcohol around the clock and gratuities, your shore excursions, your meals, beer and wine with lunch and dinner, as well as our sip and sail, your wine tasting excursions. But on these celebration of wine cruises, even more is included because a wine host is actually sailing with the group. We're bringing their wine on board for tastings, and then they're bridging the gap between the old world flavors and the new world flavors. So what's incredible about these is we're not charging your clients extra for the wine that they're enjoying on the ship that they might be charged for otherwise. Say if they were going to the winery's wine tasting room. Some of the wineries that we work with, their tasting rooms to get a flight is between $100 and $200 in Napa or Paso, wherever their winery might be. So to have that now included multiple times throughout the cruise and a wine paired dinner is honestly so special. But what's great for all of you on this call is all of the wineries that you see listed on our website, they're working with an advisor. So when they are promoting this wine cruise and the opportunity for their wine club members to sail with them on the Rhine next October, their call to action to their wine club members is, oh, call Sally at Sally's Travel. Here's her number. On our website, of course, the experience, since the wine host is there for the whole ship, the wine host is going to be hosting everybody on board, regardless of where the guests booked from. And they're not soliciting anyone for business or anything like that. So it is a safe space on board for everybody. But it is something for you to think about in your area, in your connections in your personal life. Where do you have these opportunities? Because again, we're on a march to over 100 wine cruises. It grows every single year, and that only grows with our partners and the connections they have. So if you think you have an opportunity to maybe work with one of our future wine hosts, we want to hear from you. Reach out to your BDM, reach out to myself, Hannah, at AmaWaterways.com, and we can go over what that program looks like. And of course, yes, we have mostly North American wine hosts, again, bridging the gap between the old world and the new world flavors, and truly creating such a unique education during the course of the 7 nights. But we also have European immersion wine hosts. So if your clients are really interested just on the old world and the European flavors, then we have that option as well. It's sort of a growing interest that we see with our clients. So we have a few departures next year where that is available. Outside of wine, we have really expanded over the last few years our specialty cruises, starting with our soulful experiences. So we introduced this in 2023 on just one cruise at the time. It was our Colors of Provence Soulful Journey. And that was a 10-night cruise and land itinerary where you have 3 nights in Paris pre-cruise and then 7 nights sailing from Lyon to Arles. And it is different. You know, the nauticals are generally the same when you compare what we do on a soulful journey to what we do on, a standard cruise. And so while the nauticals are the same, the experience in destination and on the ship is different, because what we are doing in destination is really celebrating the Black history in that area. It is a true celebration of the Black diaspora, again, from an educational standpoint on the shore, but also a true celebration on board. We are doing things like a specialty curated Juneteenth menu by a celebrity chef. So we've worked very closely to really create a unique menu for this special night on board. We do this on all of our itineraries that you'll see in just a moment. We have a white party, we have special entertainment on some of the nights as well. And then of course, you know, some examples of some of the tours that we've done, you know, talking about really that first river cruise that we did, a celebration, our soulful journey on the Rhone River in France. A huge highlight of that is what we do during the 3-night extension in Paris. We not only have a Black History of Paris tour, and we actually go to the African market during that and have some tastes of local food during that excursion, but we also do a Josephine Baker excursion. Josephine Baker was an American spy, but also performer, right? So people know her as a performer, a musician, an artist, but actually she was a spy. So we go deep into that history, and very, very famous in America and also in France. And we actually get to visit her house in France. And then, of course, some other things on the cruise that we do different from our usual cruise. Instead of, you know, the Arles city tour that we do out of Arles, we're actually doing a Marseille tour, and we're going to the port of Marseille, and then we're going to an art museum that you see here at the Blacher Foundation. We're also going to a cemetery that is a cemetery specific for African soldiers that fought in World War II. As you may know, soldiers were segregated, right? So even in that process of when they were buried, they were also kept separate from the white soldiers, right? So it's really going into sometimes, you know, a troubling history, but we need to know about it, we need to learn about it, and we need to celebrate it. So of course, all people are welcomed on all of these dates, these soulful dates for this year. Some are nearly sold out, like the Magic of Colombia that you see there on October 18th, which is 2 nights in Cartagena and a 7-night cruise. But we do still have great space on the Best of Holland in Belgium. Very excited about that cruise on December 27th, because it is not only at winter time, right? But it is, we're going to be celebrating Kwanzaa on board. We will be going to any markets that are open at that time for the Christmas markets, and it's a New Year's cruise. So we'll have such an incredible New Year's celebration, I know, come December 31st on that. And then in 26, the program continues to grow. We are adding some new itineraries. So you will have the classic Colors of Provence cruise on October 19th. Of course, we're continuing our Secrets of Egypt and the Nile, and the Douro as well. It'll be our 3rd year operating those 3. But we're adding in Riches of the Mekong, October 11th. It'll be our first time operating a Mekong cruise for our Soulful. And then Swiss Alps and Rhine Castles, December 15th. Very excited about these cruises in 2026. Moving on to our celebration of music cruises. These are select cruises on Best of Holland and Danube sailings. We started this last year, but it's really growing because, again, it's just an education of really what is happening on these cruises that is different than a standard Best of the Danube sailing. And it is different. It was leaning definitely into the classic music, more so than modern music, of course, but it is for everybody because music, especially on the Danube, it's such a part of their history that you feel the significance of that there, even on our standard brochured itinerary. So leaning into that and absolutely celebrating it on and off the ship is so lovely. And we do things, our usual tour of Budapest, for example, we're just walking by the Opera House. We're not actually going into it, but on this cruise, we do get to go into the Budapest Opera House and you get a behind the scenes tour of that. And so when our guests are walking back from behind the stage, right, they're actually going to be walking onto the stage and there's going to be some cleaners that are there and they're going to be cleaning and sweeping the stage. And then all of a sudden, guess what? Those are not cleaners. Those are actually performers from the Opera House, and they're going to start performing for the guests and surprising them. Bratislava, it's a great little town. And during our walking tour, all of a sudden they're going to turn a corner and then there's going to be some performers for them, right? And so they'll get a song performed maybe by a duo, and then they carry on with the city tour, another surprise musical performance. Salzburg, so important. On our usual Salzburg excursion, that yes, AmaWaterways does include a full day Salzburg excursion, no fee for that, no extra fee. So great value there, number one. But our usual Salzburg excursion, we walk by the house where Mozart was born. We're not going into it. On this excursion, we're actually going into where Mozart was born. So for those that want that experience, this is a way to get it. And really so much more. We have several dates this year for our celebration of music. We have 4 dates that you see. Some have passed already, but there's still opportunity, particularly with that July 9th and September 24th. And you're going to see here that September 24th date is a hosted date. So what we really want to do, just like our wine cruises on these dates, is work with you and identify hosts for the celebration of music cruises. We would love this program to grow, not just on the Danube, but introduce it to other rivers as well. And that's when we have a great host that is hosting the full ship, performing possibly for our guests, the whole ship, doing fun lectures, interactive lectures for the full ship, again, maybe during a sailing afternoon. So right now, the celebration of music really is just focused on the Danube. But again, with our partners, with all of you and your connections, we think we can certainly grow this program. So we'd love to hear from you. Maybe you have worked with the symphony group in the past. Maybe you have, a professional opera singer in your family. I don't know. But those are all great, potential Pied Pipers to be a Pied Piper for you, but also to welcome on board our ship and host our whole ship. So in 26, you see that the hosted dates have grown for us. We have May 20th, July 1st, July 8th, August 14th, and September 23rd, which are all hosted. And again, those hosts are working with a travel advisor. So when Ama's able to promote and talk about it, we're promoting it as a celebration of music cruise. But when the host is talking about it to their database, they're talking about it and promoting, hey, book with, again, Julie at Julie's Travel, whoever it may be. So just a great opportunity for all of you on the call when you think about how you can be strategic in growing your business and introducing river cruising to new passengers, FIT, and groups. And then kind of designed after our wine cruise program, we have a celebration of beer. Our beer cruises, super excited about. For me, sitting here in Southern California, up and down the coast, I can tell you the microbrewery scene has grown so much. And just like you have people traveling for a weekend in Oregon for wine tasting, and flying in from all over the US, you get that as well now with beer. There are definite areas where people will take, a weekend trip with their friends and go beer tasting now. So beer is growing. It is an avenue that people are spending more money and seeking out for their vacation experiences. So we've started it for this year on 3 departures, and we would like to see it grow as well. And what we're doing is, again, kind of modeled after the wine cruise program, is we have 2 onboard tastings during the 7-night cruise, and it will be local guest speakers. We do not have official hosts on the beer cruises this year. So local, might be brewers themselves or educators. Believe it or not, there is such a thing as a beer sommelier, if you did not know. So it even could be someone like that. And then we will have added excursions focused on beer as well. So we're not replacing any of our traditional excursions. This is adding to, so your clients get extra options on these beer focused itineraries. And then of course, we're going to have wonderful culinary options. We are going to actually have a beer paired dinner, kind of like our wine paired dinners that we do on our wine cruises. So we're having a lot of fun with it. And so you see here for 2025, we have the Enchanting Rhine on November 8th, as well as Best of Holland and Belgium on November 15th. So you can book them as 2 7-night cruises. Or if your clients do want to be away for longer, then they can book it as a full 14-night cruise. In this case, it would start in Basel in Switzerland. They'd cruise for 7 nights, depending on how you look at it, either down or up the Rhine. For me, it's down because you're going down from the Swiss Alps down to the lowlands to Netherlands, right? And then after that 7-night cruise, you are going to be cruising round trip Amsterdam through the canals in Holland and Belgium. So really a wonderful 14-night option, all on the same ship. They don't have to move ships. But if time is they don't have the luxury of time yet, then a 7-night option is definitely available. And celebration of beer cruises, again, we would love to partner with advisors and identify beer hosts where, we have a brewery that we are working with or an educator that we are working with that AmaWaterways is promoting, and we get to welcome that educator on board to host the whole ship and be a lovely host. Of course, they have to be someone you actually want to travel with for 7 nights, right? That's important as we qualify them. But for you, someone that has that database that can refer you to their clients, to their own beer club members or locals or friends, whoever it may be. So it's a great option for our celebration of beer official cruises. But I think all of these sort of specialty cruises and themes are great for you to think about whether your clients, again, are booking into these dates or you are doing something special for them to add on top of a standard AmaWaterways cruise. And then we have our celebration of wellness cruises. One thing that we are so proud about at AmaWaterways is our approach to wellness on any AmaWaterways cruise. So we introduced our wellness program in 2017, just on one ship to really trial it out, get what the feedback was. Can we keep this going? And everyone loved it. We trialed it out on the Seine River doing our Paris and Normandy, and people just fell in love with it. And so we've since 2017 added it across our entire fleet in Europe. And so, and on the Mekong as well. And so we have a live-in wellness host on all of our ships. And, they're not there to be the cruise manager. They're not there to be the hotel manager. They're not there to be a wellness host and your masseuse or anything like that. Our wellness hosts are purely there for our guests, our mutual guests, wherever they are in their wellness journey. So it could be like this picture that you see here, doing yoga on the sun deck in the morning. It could be doing a digestive walk after lunch, a quick little walk on the sun deck for 20, 30 minutes. Could be joining the guests on one of our bike tours. It could be one-on-one time in our gym. So really a variety of options and ways to really take advantage of the wellness hosts on board. But I find it absolutely amazing. It's not fun to wake up 30 minutes earlier, no, especially after a long fight, but it is so helpful for me to get that stretch in. Some classes are easy, like a stretching class. Some are going to be a bit more intense, like a core strengthening class. So it does change from day to day, but it's such a lovely way to really wake up in the morning and be alert for the rest of the day and be excited about stepping off the ship and immersing yourself in the destination around you. And so our celebration of wellness cruises that really are starting this August are really leaning into that even more. So it is for those clients that are seeking out wellness on their next vacation. It's not, people thought it was just a trend, a while back, but it's not. It's really not a trend that has come and gone. Many people are doubling down on wellness in their vacations that are seeking that out to refresh themselves, right? And feel even more connected with themselves, their health, right? Whether it be physical, emotional, social, when on their vacation, so that when they get back from their vacation, they're feeling wonderful and great. And so what is included on our celebration of wellness cruises? Of course, all of our cruises, we have a bike tour or a hiking option. We're pushing those, we're enhancing those. So, any bike tour with Ama, I would say if you have not been on a bike in 15 years, doing that in a foreign country is not the time. But they're relatively easy bike tours, I would say. We're not biking mountains or going for significantly long periods of time. So on these cruises, we are enhancing those. We are going to be creating a route that is a bit more challenging. We are going to be going for longer periods of time, so definitely extended biking tours, extended hiking tours as well. Our hiking tours, obviously more challenging than a city tour, but we make routine stops during it. We take it at a slower pace. I enjoy that pace myself, if I can say, but we know we have people that are looking for a bit more of an intense hike, right? And having that option. So we are leaning into that on these departures as well. And then of course, we're going to have daily wellness classes, even more than what we do, and having fun with it, like the champagne yoga. We're going to be doing some Zumba classes. So yes, you're going to have the core strengthening and the more intense classes, but we're going to have fun. And then all of our departures, of course, we have lighter options available in terms of our food on board. So we're gonna have even more options on the celebration of wellness cruises. We're not removing, our incredible desserts and ice creams and steak and potato, like those are still staying. It's just adding more options on these cruises. What I'm also excited about our celebration of wellness departures for this year is that we will have a solo supplement waived. So these 2 departures this summer have a total removal of the solo supplement. If that's important to your clients, then these are great options for them. That's the Melodies of the Danube on the Amalea on August 2nd, and then Paris and Normandy on the Amadante on August 9th. And again, we've excited about growing this program in 2026. There's been a lot of internal discussions about what that looks like. So these 2 departures, we are monitoring closely to make sure that our guests that are stepping on board really enjoy the experience. And then we're going to be wanting their feedback after, right, to see how can we improve even more on this for 26 and beyond, and really grow it like you see the wine cruise program or the Soulful program and beyond, right? So that feedback, your feedback on these dates, it will be super important to us. Another incredible partnership that we're so excited about is our partnership with Smithsonian Journeys. The Smithsonian Institution has touched many people's lives, I think, through the various channels that they work. You know, most will think of the museums in DC, of course, but they have such a large footprint, and for us to be chosen as one of their partners to work with and to promote as a great opportunity for people to learn and learn as they're traveling the world is honestly something that we're so honored by. And we have 33 departures next year. So we don't have any cruises with them in 2025. It will be 2026 and beyond that these options present themselves. And so 33 departures in 2026. That you can book through the Smithsonian Institution. And of course, we're going to be running many of our traditional experiences, but we have even more exclusive tours going to specific museums that and really these iconic landmarks that the Smithsonian has specifically seeked out. And then we also, on each of these departures, we'll have 2 experts on board from the Smithsonian Institution that will be doing additional lectures on the ship, and then we'll be joining all of the experiences off the ship as well. And they're going to be there all week, which I think is so wonderful. So if there was something that your clients found particularly fascinating about a lecture or about a shore excursion that they want to talk more about, you know, they can have during sip and sail as they have a glass of wine or one of our mocktails, you know, have a nice chat with the Smithsonian expert, or, you know, during coffee in the morning or stretching on the sun deck, right? Getting that time to not only learn from them in a more professional setting of, say, a lecture, but also just that personal setting as well, and the one-to-one interactions that will naturally take place on board our 7-night or 14-night cruises, because, you know, river cruising is so intimate with AMA, only 156 people, an average of 156 people on board our ships. And then very excited about our concierge golf program. Our golf program, if you did not know, actually started on the Danube River with the AMA Magna. So we've been running our golf program since 2019. Not as many people have added it as we would like, but it's only because I think people see how much is included in their golf experience, in their AmaWaterways experience anyways. So what we found with this, you know, in the spirit of transparency, is that this program really opens the door for us and for you to talk about river cruising to your clients. You know them better than us. You know who is going to be interested in purchasing something like this. But then when it actually comes time to add on that golf package on top of their 7-night cruise, many are, oh, well, you know what? It's such incredible value already. You know, I booked this for the golf program, but you know, I'm happy just with the cruise now. So it can be a tool for you to introduce, but those that have added it, you know, we get it a lot for groups, custom group experiences on the Danube or any other river. And even those FIT clients that have added it just are incredibly happy with this concierge golf program. You know, we have a luxury Mercedes van that is following the ship. Between each round of golf, they're cleaning the clubs for our guests on board. We're going to take them to the golf, the range. They're going to get to golf, they're going to get lunch at the golf course, they're going to have beer or wine at the golf course, meet locals, which I think is such a great part of that, is that, you know, they're not isolated to themselves. They actually get to interact with the locals, which is so much fun. And these golf courses that we go to, I myself am not a golfer, but when you talk about who designed these golf courses, your clients that all are golfers, they're going to hear some of these names, and I mean, they're probably going to bounce up and down and look like a little puppy dog that is just so excited to have the opportunity to golf at some of these. So the Danube is again what we have been operating since 2019, and we're growing it. So we're actually moving it now to the Seine River as well. So the Danube's still running. We're just adding this in on our Paris and Normandy excursion. So you still are going to get that concierge service, that private luxury Mercedes transportation, depending on how many people, could be a van, could be a car, lunch with beer and wine, a round of golf for each golfer, a range token, a shared golf cart, and then cleaning after each round. We find most people are bringing their own clubs from home because, listen, you're not going to fly all the way to Europe. You're not going to fly to some of the very best golf ranges in the world and borrow clubs and use a club that you've never used before. If you're a golfer, you want to golf your very, very best at these courses, and you do that with your club. So I get that question a lot from advisors, because I think they're thinking about the convenience for their guests, and that, you know, their clients couldn't possibly want to lug their golf clubs over there. No, no, no. If they're booking this program, they're avid golfers. They are seeking it out. They want to golf their very best. They want to golf with their golf clubs. So they are bringing them. And again, we store the golf clubs for them because we're cleaning it after each round. So they don't have to worry about storing them in their room for a week. But of course, if they would prefer to get and borrow clubs there, we do have clubs that we will provide for them if it's needed. But I wouldn't recommend that option. Your clients, I would say 99% of the time, won't be interested in that option either. And kind of going back to what I talked about at the beginning with introducing new to river, and how these specialty cruises do that, right? And help you grow your network of people that are interested in river cruising. While I said not many people have added this, and not many as we thought had added it, we're happy with the numbers. We just thought we would, after this many years, would see a bit more. Those that have added it, I would say 90% of them are new to river. So to me, that is extremely successful, never river cruised ever, and definitely not with AmaWaterways. So again, how can we have these conversations with our clients to introduce river cruising to people that might not have said the word river cruising when they come to you wanting to plan their next vacation? But that's okay. They don't have to have specifically said river cruising in order to consider it. So we have the options, and you can have those conversations. And then, of course, AmaWaterways, we say once you've cruised with us, once you've stepped on board, you are a part of our family, and you feel it. I mean, I've had some pretty emotional goodbyes, not only with my fellow travelers after the end of the 7 nights. I feel like I meet pretty much everyone on board after the end of 7 nights, because I've shared a meal with them, or shared a glass of wine, or been doing Pilates with them on the sun deck every morning, whatever it might be. So, you know, I know them. I know their son's about to graduate from college, and they're extending a week after their cruise to go to Italy, or whatever it might be, right? So the guests create personal friendships on board, but you feel it also with the crew. So I've had many emotional goodbyes after a quick 7 nights on board our ships, and that's why we're so excited to have our loyalty appreciation cruise, because we want to celebrate our AmaWaterways family, not only our team, but our advisors always, and of course our most loyal guests. So we have these loyalty appreciation cruises that we really would love to grow as well. There's select dates: 25 you see Gems of Southeast Europe on the Amabella, cruising the lower Danube, and then you also have August 13th the Rhine and Moselle Splendors on the Amaprima. So that's going to be a 7-night cruise as well on the Moselle and the Rhine River. And then 26, we have a bit more options. We have Best of the Danube, Ama Magna, February 22nd. Magic of Columbia, Ama Magdalena, June 13th. Europe's Rivers and Castles, Amacerto, July 8th. And then Enchanting Rhine, Festive Delights, our very first specialty cruise that we talked about on this webinar, November 19th. So these are all wonderful options for those that are loyal members, or maybe those people that aren't loyalty, they haven't cruised with us just yet, but they are clients that appreciate value, that appreciate things like loyalty. You know, they pick one brand and they like to stick with that, and they're looking for information on what our loyalty programs are like. This is a great thing to highlight for them, because of course, once they've done one river cruise with us, they know that what we believe in doing with our guests is surprising and delighting them. So we never tell them everything that we're going to do. And then our crew and our cruise managers are creating those surprises and delight. delights each and every day. Your client's happiness while they are on board is of the utmost importance to them. And so they're looking to create these magical moments for them. And so I would say that's even more true on these loyalty appreciation cruises. And we have great promotions on those cruises as well, different from what we're running anywhere else. All of these things that I've talked about, certainly think about from an FIT experience, one booking at a time, 2 bookings at a time, but also think about it for a group. I've mentioned that throughout, right? These Pied Pipers and how can you work with them. But when you talk about a group, the doors open up in terms of what we can do on a themed cruise departure. Because certainly your Pied Pipers, they're able to host 20 people. If they need a private space where they can do a discussion just with the group, we have the chef's table. We can coordinate together a time where your Pied Piper can do something for the group. It could be we just welcomed a group that cruised with us last week that did a cheese pairing, and the Pied Piper throughout the week, it was Best of Holland and Belgium, right? Plenty of shopping opportunities throughout the week and market opportunities, purchased local cheeses. And then during a sailing afternoon, we welcomed them in the chef's table and we did a cheese tasting in the afternoon for the group. So how fun is that? So many different themes and affinities that you can really create. Could be art, could be knitting, could be leaning into that wellness, right? Yoga, so many different options here. It's truly endless. So definitely think about how you can build your own theme and lean into some of that business that's out there waiting to be discovered. We have incredible promotions. These are just some quick reminders, but we have our complimentary land offer available for FIT business and group business. So these are our pre and post cruise land programs on select dates in 25 and 26. So this is one of our very best offers in the history of the company. So we've extended it for you all for new bookings made by the end of June. In our land packages, nothing is changing. Even though it's a great promotion, nothing is changing in what we are offering during the land packages and the value that your clients are getting. So we are staying at 4- and 5-star luxury hotels. That is including breakfast, which breakfast included at some hotels. I know that sounds great, and you're getting a little continental scrambled eggs and cereal boxes. That is not what's happening at these hotels, and sometimes breakfast not being included at these hotels. If you just go in for a quick coffee and eggs, it could be a flat fee of 60, 70 euros per person. So really wonderful value. And then of course, we do a tour every single day. So if you're on a 4-night pre-cruise program, 4 nights, that's 3 full days, because day number 1 is, the start date, it's arrival date. You're getting 3 full tours. You're getting 3 tours during your 4-night stay. So easy for you to explain, I think. And then of course the cruise manager is there. To me, I think that's most important for your guests, to have someone that is there to start that relationship already with the cruise manager that is going to host them not only on that journey, but they're going to travel with them to the ship and stay with them the entire time. So the cruise manager welcomes our very first guests on the pre-cruise program and then stays with our guests through the 7-night, 11-night, 14-night cruise, whatever it might be, and then travels with our guests on the post extension as well, and says goodbye to our very, very last guest that's traveling. So that, it's, to me, is priceless for your clients to have extra comfort, extra resources while they are traveling, and it's priceless. But under this promotion, they're getting it for $0. So you can't speak of any better value than this promotion. Triple savings as well is available on select dates in 25 and 26. And that is when they're getting on a 7-night cruise, $1,000 off per person, plus a complimentary stateroom upgrade, plus $100 onboard credit per stateroom. And then of course, all of that gets doubled to $4,000 off per person and a $200 onboard credit per stateroom on our 14-night cruises. So great value here for people that are looking for that. Maybe they're not looking to extend, right? These are not combinable promotions, but great value. I think that triple savings is especially wonderful for our groups. And then we have our future cruise benefit. Many of you know this. So again, this is a quick reminder. I want to be mindful on our time right now. But the future cruise benefit is what you will be offered and what your clients will be offered when you sail with us. And it's to pre-deposit at a reduced rate. Instead of $400 US, it's $200 US. And for pre-depositing on another cruise with us, you don't have to confirm the date yet. You're just confirming your interest to sail another time with AmaWaterways. You're getting a 5% future cruise saving. So really great value. And when your clients add this on board, we will let you know, hey, the Westerdals had a great time on board with us. They want to cruise with us again. They've already deposited. It's waiting there for them, as well as that 5% savings. So now it's your time to follow up, hear about what they loved and where they want to go next with AmaWaterways. When you go on board, you can purchase those to help grow your business with Ama. So if you have people that maybe are just looking for that extra discount and are waffling a little bit, oh, you know what? Because of my great relationship with AmaWaterways, I can get you an extra 5% savings, right? And so when you want to gift the savings to your clients after you've purchased the certificate for $200, you call us up and you let us know, okay, I'm looking to transfer my future cruise benefit to these clients. You give us the booking number. We'll go ahead and transfer the savings of 5%, and then we will refund you what it is that you paid on board, so that $200 per certificate. So it's skin in the game. It's an investment in yourself and your business, but you grow your business. So future cruise benefits are truly great. We have many people that will join us on AFAM just to purchase these because it's helped them grow their business so much. For the month of April, so it was closed, but we're going to re-extend it for all of you for joining us on this webinar. We have made it available to purchase even if you are not on a ship. So it's only available to our travel partners that are interested in growing their business with AmaWaterways on these specialty cruises or any AmaWaterways cruise, and it's combinable with groups. So it's a great tool where people will say, oh, you know, I'm doing a cruise night with my BDM. At the end, the first 5 people that book with me, guess what? I'm going to get you an extra 5% on top of this amazing group discount, right? It can be a tool. You can be strategic with how you want to use these. And we have dates this year. So yes, scan that QR code where that 5% savings, we are going to double. So not only do you get a 5% savings for your clients, once we've applied that 5% savings, we're going to apply a second 5% savings. So math doesn't quite come to 10%, but we can walk you through that when you have the reservation and show you the true value that is your saving. And so all of the dates where we are doubling the value are our Hot 100 dates this year. The Hot 100 dates are a new tool that we're adding to all of you because we hear it all the time, oh, river cruising, you're sold out this year. We are not sold out. We do still have space. We have most of our departures, yes, are. So we've made it easy for you to find out where that space is and certainly are incentivizing your clients for booking one of those dates of need with this doubling the FCB value. But there's something in it for you as well, which I will get to in a moment. The month of May, I'd say really every day for us is TA Appreciation Day. Again, we would not be successful without our partners that lift us up every single day, but certainly we are always look forward to celebrating you during Travel Advisor Appreciation Month in the month of May. So number 1, we have great webinars this month in our Webinar Wednesday series. You see them here. Every single webinar, we are going to be raffling off a free cruise. So you have to attend the full webinar and then we announce it the following week. And then those that are attending all 4, we, instead of raffling off a free cruise to Europe, we are actually raffling off a cruise to Colombia. So if you're interested in the Colombia product and want to go, then now is the time. And of course, the offer for Travel Advisor Appreciation Month is you're going to receive a $100 gift card and your clients will receive a reduced deposit of $200 on any AmaWaterways 2025 departure. Of course, Egypt goes, the reduced deposit is a $600 deposit instead of the $1,200 deposit. on those hot dates, so make sure you've scanned that QR code. Instead of receiving a $100 gift card, you're actually going to receive a $200 gift card. And this is all at the time of deposit. We are processing these weekly. So if you're looking for that extra little something, right, this is a really, these are the dates you should be looking at. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And I think we have a few questions.
We do. We've been trying to answer some of them that folks have been posting in there along the way. So we've done some of those, but here's some just general questions that we've kind of come up with that I think will be of interest to everybody. That was fantastic, Hannah. Thank you so much. What a wonderful, wonderful presentation. And you are certainly incentivizing travel advisors to book AMA with all those fantastic programs that you're offering. It's great. So let's go ahead and do the questions and then we'll do the prizes. First off, how can travel advisors effectively match clients with the right specialty cruise based on their interests and their travel goals? So, and what support does maybe AMA offer on this? Can you assist us answer that one for us?
Yeah, that's a great question. Learning about their interests, right? And number one, what do they like? What have been some of their favorite moments on a vacation? What have been some moments that they didn't love on a vacation? And then what are their interests outside of that, right? And learning a bit more about your clients is important. I know some advisors do things like surveys and things like that, and create a profile for their clients, right? So you always have, maybe it's a CRM system, maybe it's a filing system. I don't know what your system is, but certainly keeping track of all of that to refer back to later is important. But for us to help you, I would say start with our toolkits. Our marketing team is amazing. And so they know, especially with some of these specialty cruises, we need to give you the information to be able to sell it and to be able to speak to it. So all of our specialty cruises have incredible toolkits available to them. And then we're also there. So if you do have a group that's interested, right, you've done the qualification process or found a lead, our BDMs want to assist you. We are here for you. Please use us. Please reach out because we want to make ourselves available to support you.
Okay, as you mentioned that, I want to just make a note to everybody here on the webinar. Folks, we do have some handouts that I might recommend that you download right now while we're doing these questions. And there's 4 different handouts that they provided with us, and I believe you have to download those before the webinar is over. So if you can see those, look over in the right-hand side, you'll see handouts. You'll see there are 4 of them. Go ahead and download those so that you'll have much of the information that Hannah just shared with you there in terms of BDMs and programs that are being offered. They're both, I believe we have it in Canadian and in US. So while you're doing that, we'll do another question here. Are solo travelers or multi-generational families common on these specialty cruises?
I would say solo, absolutely, because sometimes you have solo travelers that are a bit nervous, I think, and they want that reassurance that they're going to be traveling in sort of a like-minded group of people, whether they're all FIT bookings or a group. So I do think for our solo travelers, we do see an increase on any of these specialties. And then for multi-generational, for us, a lot of our dates, we see that. When I say kids, most of the time we see kids as 19-year-olds, 20, 21-year-olds, and then going on up to grandma, maybe even great-grandma, right? And then the different generations. But then we do see families on board lower than that. I think the one where you see it the most is going to be our festive delights and Christmas market cruises.
Okay, great, thank you. And another question, how far in advance should the specialty cruises be booked due to the limited availability?
Earlier the better. It is a race for space, especially on the Egypt and our Columbia cruises. Those ships are smaller, but some of we haven't announced some of our specialty cruises for next year, like our beer and our wellness. So we are wanting to, we're finalizing it with operations soon, but this is also where your feedback is important. Again, if you have identified a potential beer host, and we can start the conversation at that point in time and say, okay, when are you looking to go? 26, 27? Can we do something even unique for 25 on one of those hot dates? Because when we have something like a Pied Piper, we obviously have to work around their schedule. And if it's a great lead, let's see what we can do around their schedule to really finalize it and add it in to our 26 or 27 deployment. But for us, any of the other specialty cruises, you definitely want to look at booking those minimally, I would say, a year out. Especially if you're wanting to promote it to a group of people versus FIT. FIT, I think you have a bit more time.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. I just wanted to also mention to everybody that a couple things. First of all, you can also get all of the handouts and information on AMA's travel agent portal. So, if you need that information and weren't able to download those handouts, that's another place that you can also get it. And then also importantly, a number of people have asked whether or not this wonderful webinar that she has done is being recorded. And yes, it is being recorded. About this time tomorrow, you will get an email from me with the links to those recording. Everybody that's on this webinar will get that email. So you'll be able to watch it again if you missed anything today. All right, so I think we're ready for the prizes. Are you okay with that, Hannah?
Yes, let's do it. So
Okay.
excited.
We are going to award the cruise first off, which is absolutely fantastic. And again, thank you for that generosity, Alma. We really appreciate it. We are doing a random drawing today because asking a question and getting the answers is a bit too cumbersome when we've got over 500 people on here. So what we're going to do is do that. I've asked for some assistance to that from AMA, some of the staff that's helping me here with the questions. So the winner will be, the lucky winner is going to be Christine Young. Christine, congratulations. You have won an AmaWaterways cruise, which is absolutely fantastic. Lucky you. And then you have a $50 Amazon gift card, which seems not like much after getting a free cruise, but nonetheless, everybody can use an Amazon gift card. So the gift card will be courtesy of us here at Travel Professional News, and I will be sending that out probably within the next hour. And that winner is going to be Jacqueline Cancrow. Jacqueline, congratulations. We appreciated all of your participation with your questions and such today. So that was great. All right, everybody. This has been fantastic. I always love doing webinars with my favorite river cruise company, AMA. So thank you so much for being here with us today, Hannah. And thanks to your staff that has helped out with this webinar because of the size of it. So everybody have a wonderful day. Hannah, do you want to say your final goodbyes? And then we'll go ahead and close it down.
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much, Joni. Always a pleasure to have the opportunity and join these, and your team up there is incredible as well. And we are here for you. We see so much potential still in river cruising. So much opportunity out there, not only in Europe, but the rivers of the world, Africa, not the Nile River, the Zambezi Queen there on the Chobe River, our Asia product in Vietnam and Cambodia, and of course Colombia now on the Magdalena River. And honestly, each new ship, each new destination we can explore really is a sign of our incredible partners, because truly we couldn't do what we do without everyone on this call. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And please reach out to me, Hannah at AmaWaterways, or your great BDM, because we want to be there for you. We want to help you grow your business.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for everybody for your time today. And again, thank you, Hannah. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.